Could this be a pair of Levi's that was destined for Michael Jordan, but the measurements were wrong? Welcome, people of planet Earth and all planets beyond. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Josh, and on a previous video, I talked about buying one of the rarest Levi's ever produced, and that's this pair right here. This is a pair of 1984 Levi's 501s given out to gold medal winners of the 1984 Olympics. And I thought I would never see another pair of these again because they are so incredibly rare unless you get them basically from an Olympian or their family or somebody who bought their estate or something. You're just almost never going to find them. Well, my friend AK Vintage on Instagram hit me up a while back and said, hey, I found these jeans. Would you be interested in them? Or can you tell me a little bit more about them and would you be interested in them? Of course, I recognized them right away. It's this pair right here. Another pair of 501 gold medal winner Levi's jeans. But I was a little bit confused because I said, well, where did you get them? Well, he told me he got them from a yard sale. And apparently this lady used to work at the Knoxville factory in Tennessee. So this was a Levi's employee that had in their possession one of these pairs that was only supposed to have been given out to gold medal winners. So obviously I was super intrigued. It sounds like she just kept them from the factory. She never got them from an actual Olympian. So that leaves a lot of questions and kind of a bit of a mystery. So what we're going to do is we're going to go look at these two items here. And we're going to look at the one that I know was given to a gold medal winner and one that I don't. It's possible that this is simply a factory sample or something like that, or a irregular or a throwaway, something that didn't quite make the cut. So we're going to go take a look and look at the different elements here and see how they're similar and how they may be distinct. So right off the bat, you notice this actually has a leather patch, whereas this one does not. So that's clearly an indicator that there's something different here. While this one also has the flasher on the back pocket, this one does not. They both include essentially just like an informational tag here that would have been used to sort of designate what these jeans were on both. They both say lot 501 0115, which would have been the code for 501 with pre-shrunk denim. Now these labels are a tad different. One is a little bit more brown in it. The other one's like more black and white. I don't know if these are two different ones, whether this was one that came from maybe a store or something like that, or if one is more official than the other. It just may be from two different factories. We'll find out about that in a minute. Other than that, the back sides are pretty much the same. They both have the golden red tab, and the denim material looks very, very, very similar. So let's see if we can find some other details that these guys may not share in common. So opening up onto the front side, we can see that both share the same golden buttons and golden rivets, so they're similar there. They both have the made exclusively for gold medal winners in the 1984 Olympics by Levi Strauss & Co. Both have that label sewn in on the back. So clearly this was something that must have been added early on. Let's take a look now on the back side of the button to see if they were both made at the same factory. This will help us out a lot. This factory says, factory code was 532, and this one is 532. So that means these two pair of jeans might have been in the same room, in the same factory at the same time. And this is the first time they're reunited since then, which is not something you can normally say about Levi's because of mass production. So that's pretty crazy, pretty cool right here. But we can confirm that by checking the production dates on these jeans. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ones we know were owned by a gold medal Olympian. This one says 1084, which would have been October of 1984, which would have been after the Olympic Games, which makes sense because they need to know the size and stuff for the athlete that this was going to go to. Let's check the ones that are not labeled, that we don't know their origin. And this one says 585. So that's fascinating to me, that these were produced in 585, literally 7 months later after these were produced. So they probably weren't in the same room. That would have been a cool idea. Maybe they were. Who knows? But that's interesting because these may have been extras that were produced for gold medal winners, because they don't know how many gold medal winners there would have been. And I'm not sure that the production date is when they were actually constructed, or whether that was just when the label was put on. I have reason to believe that they were produced before the label was put on, but that is still just sort of conjecture. Because at this point, as far as like dating elements go, outside of the date code, they have single-filled inseams, which makes sense. They have a lot of the same features that would have been contemporary with other 501s at the time. But that's really interesting that this was produced 7 months after this pair right here. This pair was given to an Olympian. This pair apparently was not. All right, so let's go ahead and look on the insides and see if there's anything on these pairs that lets us know what's going on. If you look on this pair, the one we know was delivered to a gold medal winner, it's clean. It's empty. There's nothing written or nothing marked, no other details seeming to be hiding in this pair. But let's go and look at this other pair, the one we think might be a sample of some sort. And let's open it up. And you can see there's yellow writing all over the place. In fact, we have 11/2-11 with a numbering 33/37. It's written here on the back side. It's also written right here on the inside of the jean. 11/2-11, 33/37. I don't necessarily know what that number is, but I do know that number is on the date on the care tag. We have 11/1-12, so that's actually probably not a dash, just looks like a slash. 11/12, then it has a C, 11. That's the same number, but that 33/37 is probably supposed to be the length. So perhaps these were are irregular because they're marked as 32/34. They might be size 37. So let's take a look at that. Here I have a yardstick. So this, if it's 37 inches, it'll be a little bit past the end. We'll take that from the end here. And nope, they go to 34, which would have been what we would expect. So we know that's not, they are the correct size. What I wonder, though, as I'm thinking about this, these right here, the ones that were given to an Olympian, were custom made, basically. They are the size that they needed to be for the individual gold medal winner. These are 33/36. These are 32/34. I wonder if they were supposed to be 33/37, and since they weren't, maybe they got rejected and had to be held back. That could very well be the case. Maybe these were supposed to go to somebody who was a 33 waist / a 37 inseam, which would make them pretty freaking tall, which would make them, what, like maybe 6'4", 6'5"? You know, Michael Jordan won gold medal in 1984. Size 37, he could, I don't know. Does Michael Jordan wear a size 37 leg? Could this be a pair of Levi's that was destined for Michael Jordan, but the measurements were wrong, and so they saved this one back and sent him another one? Well, all that speculation aside, clearly these are different, and there's a mystery as to why one pair seems to have gotten delivered all the way to an Olympian, and one did not. One seemed to stay at the factory. Something is different, or something went wrong. And my guess is it must have been the wrong size for the individual athlete, and so it did not get delivered. That's why the patch wasn't added. That's why there wasn't a tag on the back for a flasher. That's why I think there are subtle differences here. They're from the same factory, we know that. But I just cannot help thinking maybe this was supposed to go to Michael Jordan. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you find that interesting. If I can figure it out and find out what size jeans Michael Jordan will wear, maybe we can narrow it down. But until then, I'll keep you updated. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later. Peace.